finally some good news. Yes. Ben Affleck is back as Batman. But there's a catch. Yes, Vanity Fair has the exclusive that he will appear in the forthcoming The Flash movie. Loosely based on Flashpoint, but we won't be getting Aquaman versus Wonder Woman stuff in the background. I mean, it's too bad, but or maybe we will. Nah, we probably won't. But the most, well, not so much recent now, was that Michael Keaton would be back as Batman in this, as the Flash will discover the multiverse within the storyline here, in the attempt of saving his mother, who was killed by the Reverse Flash, so on and so forth. And everything gets screwed up, and he meets these alternate versions. That did happen in Flashpoint, but it was the alternate version was a redone timeline, where by saving his mother, the ramifications of it went off in different directions. Never really explained exactly how or why that would cause Thomas Wayne to be Batman instead of Bruce Wayne. In this case, that's not what he's doing. It's not like Michael Keaton, at least as I understand it from this, would be Thomas Wayne. Too bad they couldn't get Jeffrey Dean Morgan to do that. But he will be playing the Batman he played in the Tim Burton movie, and then there's talk that might spin off into a Batman Beyond movie and all this sort of stuff. So that's what the deal would be, and he'll be, meeting this guy and maybe other DC movies, or seeing reused footage and stuff like that as he travels through the multiverse. But Ben Affleck will play his Batman in this story, as there was this relationship, albeit shown in the theatrical version of Justice League, but we'll see more of that in the Snyder Cut, which also dropped a new teaser today. Yeah, that's great. But there was this sort of father-son type dynamic, or mentor, deal between them. And so it stands to reason that he would appear. Now, in the Flashpoint story, it showed that by the end of the story, the universe had changed somewhat. They weren't quite aware of it at the time, and Barry Allen's memories of how the universe used to be, evaporated. But one of the fan theories was that you could introduce your new Batman at the end of this movie, whereas at the beginning it would be Ben Affleck, and then at the end, and in this case, would that be Robert Pattinson? There is no word of Robert Pattinson's Batman appearing here. All of the stories is that the Pattinson, Matt Reeves Batman film will be its own separate universe, if you will, and will not cross over with this one. Although you could have Pattinson, or footage from his film, make an appearance in this film, that Barry Allen sees, oh, there's another Batman, and all this sort of thing. They need to do other versions of other heroes, not just always Batman. But in the narrative of this, out of the Snyder films, that Batman plays a pivotal role in the Flash's life, so it stands to reason that you could have other Batman show up and all that. But wherever the story goes, so Ben Affleck will probably be sort of like a bookend character at the beginning of this, where it's still the normal DCEU, and then Barry goes into his time travel mischief. And between the two of them, also not just the mentor relationship, but the understanding, they're both survivors of murdered parents, so there's that connection as well. So that's probably what it will be. Does it mean that they will introduce a new Batman for the DCEU at the end of this, and this would be some other actor, not Pattinson? I don't know. Or just hopefully this means that Ben Affleck is back in the Cape and would be open to more deals. There was always the rumors that AT&T was pursuing him, wanting him to go ahead and return and shoot his Batman script, which was that Batman versus Deathstroke story. and that would be a part of HBO Max. So out of this could spin that. Now, the director's sister, Barbara Machete, who's a producer on the Flash film, says she was surprised by Ben Affleck's reaction, because Ben Affleck had told these stars that his days as Batman was a hard time for him. It was very troubling, and by the reasons why he walked away from it. But the troubled times had to deal with his struggles after the failure of his marriage and his struggle with alcoholism. So yeah, it was a tough time, and it happened, but it's just coincidental that it happened at the same time as Batman. Now, there was the other stuff about people like Zack Snyder leaving the project, and then Joss Whedon coming in, and then Affleck struggling, having to deal with Jeff Johns wanting to rewrite his script, stuff like that. Didn't help. But so he thought, well, he's probably not wanting to go back to this. He's looking forward to other films and all that. But no, it turns out, no, he was happy to come back. He's in a better place now. He did give interviews where he had a great time working with Zack Snyder. So Batman versus Superman days, yes, he was happy during that time. The Justice League thing became a bit of a problem, as we all know the story. So he's in a better place now, which is good news for him and everything. So it seems like he's pumped and very positive about playing Batman again, if only in this sort of perhaps cameo, or a little more than a cameo role in the Flash film, because it is the Flash, it's not Batman. And that's where he'll be. But this sort of brings him back. Now, if this sort of thing is going on, and that's his attitude, then the idea of him having total control over his Batman film that he wrote with, the Deathstroke story, that would be really cool. And also, if it's an HBO Max series where he's the showrunner of it and all that sort of thing, where they can break it up in episodes, that would be cool too. And hopefully that will be the result. And Snyder Cut, which is the biggest excitement right now going for these franchises right now. And if they don't drop the ball, it could be a big winner for them for quite a while. And so beyond Snyder Cut would mean Justice League 2 and Justice League 3. If you can get these movies off the ground where you have these spin-offs of it, which would be Ben Affleck's Batman, I guess you can't call it The Batman anymore, maybe just Batman versus Deathstroke. You have that, then you can have a Superman film, which I want as well, preferably Superman versus Brainiac, and then the threads come back for a Justice League 2 and 3 and all that, and those could be broken up as series as well if they so desire, for the purposes of a streaming service of HBO Max and all of that. So it was just rumors that people said, oh no, we got really strong sources on it, that AT&T was heavily interested in having Ben Affleck come back as Batman. Might really be true, and the idea that his attitude is rather positive about this. Now, this is a small role, of course, but it could be an open door to more, and I hope so. But in the end, at least this is very good news to see. We'll see him once again, and of course we'll see him once again as Batman in the Snyder Cut, but that of course is the old footage. This will be new, and we'll see him once again as Batman in Flashpoint. Yeah. So there you go. How about that? Finally something nice, isn't it? It sure is. Alright, thank you for watching and listening. Say, why not like and subscribe, and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores and have plenty of goodies for you. You know, hats, mugs, stickers, posters, all that goody stuff. Plus, you can head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book Night Night. Oh, yeah. Plus, you can also catch my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, over at RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on my channel at BitChute. That's the Mr Nailsin channel on BitChute.com.